Hey everyone, welcome to This Explainer. Today we're throwing on our media researcher hats and taking a really deep dive into something absolutely fascinating: how Nepalese comedy actually works as a powerful socio-political mirror. We're going to look way beyond the laughs to see how film and television are actively documenting and shaping cultural identity in Nepal. We'll be looking at everything from classic, highly crafted ethnographic cinema all the way to the fast-paced, unscripted world of modern reality television. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. We'll kick things off with decoding symbolism, move into ethnographic realities in film, then explore the rise of reality comedy. After that, we'll look at budgets, voting, and identity, and wrap up with humor as a coping mechanism.
All right, Section 1, Decoding Nepal's Comedic Symbolism.
To really understand what we're dealing with, we need to set our academic tone right out of the gate. We are using a concept from anthropologist Clifford Geertz called thick description. Basically, this means we aren't just taking punchlines at face value. We're digging into the deep context, the intent, and the socially established structures of meaning behind these cultural behaviors. It's kind of like a giant puzzle. When a comedian mimics a politician, we use thick description to uncover exactly why they're doing it, not just what they're doing. This is the exact lens we're using to analyze Nepal's comedic entertainment. Moving right along to Section 2, Ethnographic Realities in Film. Let's start our comparison by looking at the highly crafted, high-stakes narratives found in classic Nepalese social films. These aren't just movies, they are moving ethnographic records. Take Jola, for example. It takes us back to the 1920s to deliver a stark critique of the patriarchal sati system. Then you have Balidan, which serves as a neutral documentation of the intense political transition toward democracy during the Panchat era. And bringing it closer to today, Pashupati Prasad acts as a harsh mirror reflecting the everyday urban struggle of an orphan navigating poverty in Kathmandu.
And this brilliantly illustrates how heavily scripted films serve as essential social evidence. They document Nepal's most critical historical milestones. You've got films like Chaka Panja using social satire to mirror the deeply tragic reality of remittance economies, showing how unemployment forces families apart. Then there's Woden No. 6, documenting the very real impacts of the Maoist insurgency. By seamlessly integrating tragedy with social satire, these films challenge conservative traditions and actively frame the national cultural identity.
Section 3, The Rise of Reality Comedy. We are shifting gears from the microscope of classic cinema to the absolute megaphone of modern television. Think about the contrast here. On one side, you have cinematic epics like Balidan. These are highly scripted, featuring sweeping dramatic arcs that deal with national tragedy and revolution. On the flip side, you have episodic sitcoms, like the popular web series Has Kus. These are character-driven, focusing purely on quirky daily village interactions. The scale is smaller, for sure, but the reflection of everyday reality is just as potent. In this modern era, specific comedic tropes are totally taking over. Shows like Comedy Club with Champions lean heavily into the mimicry of powerful politicians, figures like KP Sharma Oli and Pushpa Kamal Dahal. We are seeing a massive pivot toward unscripted, fast-paced reality TV structures. You even have digital creators actively shaping cultural discourse by adding comedic voiceovers to viral videos. Stand-up comedy has genuinely become a mainstream tool to navigate complex, modern socioeconomic challenges. Which leads us to Section 4, Budgets, Voting, and Identity. Let's move to and see how this builds into the massive reality television shows dominating today. Let's analyze Comedy Champion, Nepal's first stand-up comedy reality show. The production structure is incredibly rigid. It starts with digital audition submissions, then physical stage auditions, and judges pick the top 15. But here is the crucial part to notice. From the top 10 onwards, the power shifts entirely to the audience. Contestants face weekly elimination based completely on audience voting through the IME Pay app. This completely democratizes the process. The audience literally votes on which comedic voice, and by extension, which reflection of their own social identity resonates the most. And the stakes? They are unbelievably high. The winner takes home a staggering 2.5 million rupees and a brand new car. To put that into perspective, this kind of massive production budget completely changes the game. It's no longer just casual joking around. It pushes performers to develop incredibly sharp, culturally relevant material to survive a national audience vote every single week. Drawing from visual anthropology, specifically the work of Elizabeth Edwards, we understand that these massive reality show structures act as modern digital meeting grounds for Nepalese society. They are employed as sites of cross-cultural social interaction. When millions tune in to watch and vote, they are collectively interacting with and negotiating their shared cultural norms in real time. Finally, Section 5, humor as a coping mechanism. This brings us right back to the core psychological function of these formats. So the crucial point is, why do we laugh, especially when things are hard? Humor is an essential societal coping mechanism. When processing the trauma of political upheaval, society leans on the patriotic satire of films like Balidan and Woda No. 6. When crushed by economic hardship and debt, finding solace in the dark urban struggle of Pashupati Prasad helps. And to cope with the painful realities of migration, Chaka Panja powerfully satirizes the remittance economy. Through thick description, we see that comedy is actually a structural response to very real pain.
We have to remember that behind every single laugh is an exceptional on-screen performer using their art to bring visibility to Nepal's complex realities. Whether it's a deeply crafted character in a feature film or an impromptu mimicry on a reality stage, these performances highlight systemic societal paradoxes. They're the very heartbeat of Nepalese cultural expression.
Which leaves us with a pretty provocative question to ponder. Can the fast-paced, unscripted, and audience-driven nature of reality television truly preserve the deep ethnographic traditions of classic Nepalese cinema? As media continues to evolve from heavy, milestone narratives to quick digital bites, how will this sociopolitical mirror adapt? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep questioning the media you consume, and I'll catch you next time.